Every single SharePoint site has navigation, a way that you can get around within the site. And so we're going to take a look at how navigation works in SharePoint, so you'll be very comfortable moving around in your SharePoint site. On the left-hand side, we have an area that's called the Quick Launch, and it has, for example, links to take you home, to documents, which is a particular library, a list of places that I've recently visited, newsflash and events, and site contents. Because I have permission at the bottom, I'm also allowed to edit these links. You may not see that particular function. So on the left is the Quick Launch. In some site designs, that Quick Launch will actually appear here at the top, underneath the title for the site. Above the site title, we have what's called the top navigation. It's not always turned on every site. On this one it is. And what we see is the site we're in right now, Inside No Obstacles. And then this is actually another site, a subsite, that if I click, I'll go visit that subsite. That subsite has exactly the same navigation. And by the way, this is a site that's under development, so we'll be seeing this a lot in the course. But here's that same navigation on the top, and here's a Quick Launch here on the left. A lot less site content here. If I want to return, I can simply click Inside No Obstacles, and I'm back in the parent site. Inside Sport is a child site or a subsite of this site. Every single SharePoint component also has a ribbon. I'm on a web part page here, and so I have a page ribbon that's available. If I were in the Documents library, I would instead have a ribbon that has tabs for files, documents, and tabs for the settings for the library as a whole. Normally, when you go to a new page, you'll simply be in browse mode. But know that you can click the page or the library or the items link in order to fire up that tab of the ribbon. And then click here if you want to close the ribbon and go back to browse. In the upper right-hand corner, we have a couple of different features. One is the feature that has my name on it, which is a place that I can go in and enter information about myself, my profile, which we'll do later. Or I could sign out if I wished. There's not necessarily a need to do that, but if I'm using a computer in a public place, it's a good idea to sign out when I leave SharePoint. To the left of my name, you'll actually see the social networking area of SharePoint, where I have a news feed, my SkyDrive, a place to store information and sites, and we will be exploring all those features later. Directly below that, we have the ability to share exactly where we are. So I can share this page with someone else, I can follow this page, I can synchronize things on this page, and if I have permission, I can edit this page. Finally, I have the ability to hide the navigation features and see simply the content. It's sort of interesting to do that because all of those tools that get me back and forth go away, and I can click again to remove the focus on content and get my navigation tools back, both my Quick Launch and my top navigation bar. Another way you'll navigate in a site is you'll enter a search term and return a result set and then click a particular item and go visit that, whether it's in a library or a list, a person perhaps, or a document. So search itself is part of navigation in SharePoint. Finally, within this page, I have a number of apps. In earlier versions of SharePoint, these were called lists or libraries. So this is a document library, and this is a particular view of this library showing me documents that are new this week. But all of the titles here are hyperlinks. If I point to New This Week or Newsflash or Events, they are all hyperlinks that will take me from this display of some or even all of the items to the list or library itself. So there are two ways to get to the Documents library here. One is to click the hyperlink that's the view title. Here I am with all of my documents. Or if I were back on my home page again, I could click Documents and go directly to the Documents library. So many ways that we can navigate in SharePoint, using hyperlinks, using the Quick Launch, using the top navigation. Welcome to SharePoint. After you've been working for just a few hours or a few days, all of this will become very easy and very intuitive, so that you'll be able to work in all of your SharePoint sites by using the navigation effectively.